Sometimes as mothers, we can get caught in this downward spiral of thinking that we're invisible. We spend our days doing the same tasks over and over again, washing the dishes, folding the clothes, cooking the meals, picking up toys, wiping little faces, and starting all over again the next morning. It's so easy to slip into that feeling that we're pouring ourselves out into work that no one notices. Some days the needs around us feel endless. We wake up already tired. We sit down only to stand right back up. We move through the house, leaving tasks half finished because someone needed us again. By nighttime, it can feel like we worked all day and have nothing to show for it. And in these moments, we start to wonder, does any of this matter? Does anyone see the effort we put in? Does anyone know how much of ourselves we pour into this home, these children, this life? But Jesus speaks right into that ache of feeling unseen. In Matthew 25, Jesus says, "Whatever you do for the least of these, you do for me." And that changes everything. It reminds us that the unseen is not unnoticed. The ordinary is not insignificant, and the repetitive is not wasted. Every small act of love, every meal prepared and diaper changed, every toy picked up, every late night and early morning becomes an offering to God Himself. If this feels like you, I hope that you'll stick around for a while I do some of my weekly prep and talk about this a little more. Because motherhood may not always feel holy, but it is. And it may not always look sacred, but it is. Every hidden moment becomes a place of worship to God when we remember who we're doing it for. You are not alone in this, and what you're doing today matters more than you know. Motherhood is a ministry, a quiet, constant, sacred one. It happens in the everyday places, in the kitchen, the laundry room, the car, the grocery store. It happens in whispered prayers and gentle correction, in steady presence and patient love. The world may overlook these things. It may not applaud them or admire them, but heaven sees every bit of it. And Jesus tells us that when we care for the least of these, the smallest ones, and the ones who depend on us, we are doing it for Him. And that's why we show up. Not for the praise, not for the recognition, not for perfection or performance, but for God. We serve Him by serving the ones He's entrusted to us. We love Him by loving the ones He has placed in our care. We honor Him by tending our homes, shaping our days, and giving our best in the small things, even when no one else is looking. And when you look at things through this lens, you start to realize that folding laundry becomes worship. Reading the same book again and again becomes worship. Cleaning spills and crumbs becomes worship. Holding your crying toddler becomes worship. And this is kingdom work. It's simple and steady and holy. In the kitchen, with its familiar sounds and routines, becomes a sanctuary. Not because the work is glamorous, but because the heart behind it is offered to Him. Motherhood may not look like standing on a stage or holding a microphone, but it is discipleship. It is spiritual formation, theirs and ours. It is sacrifice. It is patience. It is love in motion, one small task at a time. You are not invisible to God. He sees you. He delights in the work you do, and every hidden moment you offer in love rises to Him as worship. We don't do this for an applause. we do it for Him. And we don't do it in our own strength, we do it in His. Because motherhood is not something we were ever meant to carry alone. The weight of daily tasks, the emotional load, the constant giving, the decisions, the fears, the exhaustion, none of it was designed to rest on our shoulders without support. Jesus never said, "Go, do this by yourself." He said, "I am with you always. Cast your burdens on me." We were never meant to push through in silence, pretending we're fine. We weren't created to grit our teeth and make it all work on our own. God's design has always been partnership. His strength in our weakness, His peace in our chaos, His rest in our weariness. So when we feel empty, we can lean into Him. When we feel overwhelmed, we can rest in Him. When we feel invisible, we can be seen by Him. When we feel like we're not enough, He reminds us that He is. Motherhood isn't a test of our capability. It's an invitation to depend on God. He doesn't ask us to be perfect, just present. He doesn't ask us to have every answer, just to trust Him. He doesn't ask us to hold it all together, just to let Him hold us. You don't walk this road alone. You don't love these children alone. And you don't serve this home alone. His strength is made perfect in your weakness. His grace is sufficient for every task, every moment, every day. And even here in the quiet, unseen corners of motherhood, He is with us. We don't do it for praise. We don't do it in our own strength. We do it with Him, through Him, and for Him. And motherhood is a gift in so many ways. It invites us into a Christ-like love, a love that is willing to pour out, to give up comfort, and choose someone else's needs over our own. In Ephesians 5, we are called to follow God's example and to walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave Himself up for us. So on the days that may feel ordinary, when you feel invisible, when things feel repetitive, when you feel unseen, remember that you are not failing. You are fulfilling a calling. You are loving in the shape of Christ, serving in His strength, and walking in the presence of Jesus. Your daily work doesn't disappear into the background of life. It rises before God as worship. And what you give, what you pour out, what you lay aside in love, none of it is wasted. None of it is small to Him. Keep going and trusting. Keep sowing seeds of tenderness and truth into your home. And remember that you're doing holy work even when it looks quiet. You're reflecting Jesus even when it feels messy. And you are held, supplied, and carried by the one who delights to be with you in every bit of it.